Imagine spending 10 years of your life saving for one car. Spending 10 years believing that once you got this car, you could finally start going places. It would take you anywhere, and it would make you the happiest you've ever been. The only catch was that in those 10 years when you were saving, you wouldn't be able to have a car. You would spend 10 years waiting for the day that you could finally be mobile. Imagine 10 years later when you can finally buy the car. You drive it home and imagine your future self closing the garage, staring at this one item you spent 10 years of your life saving for. And you stood there alone, looked at it, and realized this isn't what I wanted. It's insane to think that someone would spend 10 years of their life saving for a car, that they would believe that once they get this car, they can start living their life, that they would think that this car would be the answer to all their problems. But people actually do this. This car represents the FIRE movement. It represents the idea that one day things will be better, that this one idea will solve all your problems. But it's a scary thought when you think about getting it and realizing it's not what you wanted. A few years ago, I learned about the FIRE movement. And FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The idea is basically saving 50% of your income for 10 years, investing it in the stock market, and 10 years later, you would be financially free and never have to work a day in your life again. When I came across this idea of financial independence, I was obsessed. I thought that this one thing would be the answer to all my problems, that once I reached financial independence, I would never have to work in my life and I could just start living. Until one day, I sat down and I thought, what if I'm wrong? It's a scary thought to think about chasing one idea for 10 years, and once you get it, realizing that it's not what you wanted. You know, I don't think the FIRE movement is wrong. I just think that it's very misleading. And I think that we need to rethink this idea of what the FIRE movement is, because I see two main problems with the FIRE movement. And the first problem is with RE, retire early. The ending goal of FIRE is retirement. But have you ever thought about what retirement actually is? Because I think that retirement is when you're no longer able to work, when you're physically and mentally no longer able to make money. And I think that retirement is when you stop working not because you want to, but retirement is when you stop working because you have to. And I don't think that retirement should be viewed as a goal. I think that retirement should be viewed as a worst case scenario. And the second problem I have with FIRE is with FI, financial independence. Financial independence is basically when you can live off 4% of your investment portfolio. And FIRE suggests that you need to reach financial independence before you can start living. It suggests that money is going to answer your problems, but money is never going to be the answer to your problems. It's what you do with the money that's going to be the answer to your problems. And financial independence, for the average person, can take a very, very long time to reach. And I just think that if you follow this traditional path of FIRE, it is just too risky to do. But I don't think that FIRE is wrong. I just think that we need to recreate the idea of FIRE. And it starts with recreating the goal. The current goal of FIRE is retirement. Retire early. But retirement should never be a goal, because eventually you're going to be wanting to do something with your time. Does that mean that you have to work for the rest of your life? No. Does that mean you need to work a 9-to-5 job in an office? No, it doesn't. The goal of FIRE has never been retirement. The goal of FIRE is freedom. Freedom to live the life that you want without any financial fears, without the burden of money and a paycheck. That's what FIRE is about. So instead of spending 10 years of your life thinking that retirement is what you're after, start chasing freedom and define, what does freedom mean in your life? And when you reach freedom, you don't stop working. You just stop doing work that isn't meaningful to you. So that's the goal of FIRE. Freedom. It's not retirement. So start asking yourself, what does freedom mean to you? And the second thing we need to do is we need to recreate the method. FIRE tells us that we need to reach financial independence before we can start living the life that we want. But why do you need to reach financial independence before you can start doing what you want? You know, on my financial journey, I have realized that the amount of money you have doesn't actually matter. It's how your money makes you feel that matters. Does it make you feel secure? Does it make you feel like you can take risks without any big consequences? Financial independence isn't the method to reach freedom. The method to reach freedom is figuring out how much money is enough in your life. And enough will mean different things to different people. But don't confuse enough with a number, because enough is not a number. Enough is a feeling. And you'll actually be surprised on how low this number is, because you reach enough light years before you reach financial independence. So the method to reach freedom, to reach FIRE, is not financial independence. The method is figuring out and reaching enough in your life. And that's what FIRE means. Figuring out how much money is enough so that you can have freedom in your life. FIRE isn't wrong, but it misses the point. Your problems aren't going to go away once you reach financial independence. And if you don't know how to live your life right now, you're not going to know how to do it when you retire. The biggest risk in life is not doing what you want on the bet that you can buy yourself the freedom to do it later. So start living it now, because you don't want to end up like the guy who spent 10 years of his life saving for a car he realized he never wanted.